Hi, I'm Nancy Laffey from Completely Quilted, and thank you for watching our video for the second month of the Atlantis Block of the Month. Today we're making the second block, which is the Sea Urchin Block, and I'm going to show you some of the techniques and the different things you need to know to complete this block. So with the second block, the Sea Urchin Block, you're going to have some of the same techniques as we had last month. You're going to have squares that have been folded into triangles, and you're going to have those in several colors. And you're also going to have some rectangles that have been folded in half with that fold oriented down towards the bottom. Some of those pieces, especially these rectangle ones, are going to be sandwiched. So you can see I've already got my piece sandwiched, and that leaves a little bit down here at the bottom. So whenever I sandwich these pieces, I always want to make sure my cut edges are even, and then that my fold is not on the edge of a piece. So I have that clipped where I'm going to sew that. You're also going to be using a glue stick. So some of these triangles are just going to be placed on top of a flat square. And when you do this, you just place a little bit of glue close to that corner, so that's not going to hinder when we're going to be folding back our bias edge. So these are going to be made in two different colors. That color there, and then this color here, for some later steps for sewing together. So the prep work is always going to be, cutting your pieces and then folding them according to the pattern instructions. And then you'll be doing some layering or sandwiching to create this cool block. Now I'm ready to sew my center section, and you can see what I have here is something kind of like what I had in the first month. We've got our rectangles that have been sewn in to create this wide dimensional triangle block. So I'm going to position those towards the center with my points facing in. Now I'm going to layer some more rectangles, and I want to make sure my fold is oriented towards the center for the top and bottom to create another triangle. So I'm going to position this all right sides together, just making sure that my edges are even. And I'm going to clip these. I really like using these clips. For this block, it's easier to pin through, so that keeps all of that together. Also, when I'm stitching this, I want my 1/4 of an inch seam allowance, of course, to be accurate, but I also want to stitch just beyond where I see these points here, because that's going to make sure I don't sew over those points. So everything here has been sewn. I'll have another unit on the other side just like this one, but you can see when I open this up, it's going to create another triangle right next to the one, and it's every other color. So I'll press these, and I'll go ahead and also make sure to press my seam allowances open. So I'll do the same thing for the opposite side to get my center section. So you can see on the back side here, I made sure not to stitch through to create those nice points that I have here on my triangles. So here's my entire block all sewn together. All of my seams have been pressed open in the back, and all that is left is my sashings before I get to the point where I'm going to turn and make this a really cool dimensional curved. So whatever your block, you need to make sure that these pieces that have been cut to the block size are going to fit on each end. You may have some fullness, or you may need to, make this fit. You never want to sew this on and cut it off to fit your block. You may want to make your block fit this strip. So if you have a little fullness like I do here, you're just going to pull it all the way to the edge, pin it, and then whatever fullness that you have, that should go on the bottom of your machine, and you're just going to gently ease that in as you sew. So that block is going to be the size it needs to be for when we go to sew all of our blocks together. So I'm going to sew these sashings on, and then I'm going to show you how those dimensional curves get top stitched to create our finished block. So now that all my sashings are sewn on, I am ready to prepare for these curving techniques. So I've already placed a pin, and it goes in every other color here. And that way I can create this double curve with my sewing machine, just top stitching along each one of these. Now, some of these are going to stay straight. This very small piece here, that's going to just stay straight. But when I get to this larger piece, that's going to be pushed all the way back to create, one long. So my little gold sunset pieces are here, and then these inside triangles are going to create this really cool cathedral window type look here inside to create another curve. So now that I have my pins where I need my double curve, I'm ready to put on my, my clear thread and do all of my top stitching for finishing this block. What a transformation from the straight angles to once I've top stitched this. It creates such a cool look with this block, and you still have just a few of these tiny little three-dimensional pockets that are still here on this one, which I love. So I hope you enjoyed this block of the month. This is the second month of our Atlantis block of the month, the Sea Urchin block. These are designed by Southwind Designs, and you can participate in our block of the month by contacting us. Thank you.